Why, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the debut we've all been anxiously waiting for. The ACR Street Stocks series on RSN, presented by the Eskimo Brothers. I am one half of the broadcast crew, Tom Torrey, and the other co-host operating the cameras and the magic that's appearing on your screen is Andy Bisay. How's it going, buddy?
How's it going, Tom? Doing all right tonight.
All right, tonight's race will premiere some of the best real-life CRA street stock racers, as well as some of our experienced ASC drivers from the Cup and Truck Series. First race of the season will be at Lucas Oil Raceway for 50 laps.
Also tonight we'll be taking the opportunity, if it arises, to interview some of the drivers so you can gain some perspective on what the drivers are feeling out on that track. Sorry about that, Tom. And get to know some of those drivers you'll see on each of the broadcasts we have each week. I was listening to some of the drivers pre-race, and there's already some rivalries taking place, and looks like we're going to get some good competition out there tonight.
Oh yeah, I was sitting in the driver's lobby as they were practicing, and I noticed the same thing. I also heard them sharing some setup ideas, or what you call some, shop talk. I think they're trying to mess with each other a little bit, but racing isn't racing. If there isn't some behind-the-scenes shenanigans going on. But I do expect tonight we'll have nothing but action and a good time. As we get down to the track, Andy, what do you notice, if anything, about the track and how it handles?
Well, Tom, that's a great question. I've taken a few laps out there, not too many. These new ASC Street Stocks are pretty different than the Cup cars we drive on Monday nights. With this track in mind, I could say it's a wide track, so there's plenty of places to pass or make moves. But I have noticed with these particular cars, the tires take a bit longer to warm up, and I think early on it's going to be hard for them to make passes. I would say probably maybe even 10 laps in is probably when we'll see some good racing, see a lot of fighting for some position. All in all, though, I think it's going to be a real fast, and it's going to be real exciting, and I'm excited to see these guys go head-to-head tonight.
Yeah, that's right on there, Andy. Yeah, we've had an opportunity to race with most of these ASC guys, and they race in other mods, but it's going to be interesting how they match up against these real-life drivers. I'm sure, we'll make our comparisons and analyze the differences as we go along here with the broadcast.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. I want to touch on what you just mentioned there. Some of the guys that will be racing tonight are actual real-life street stock drivers, and I think this is a really cool thing that some of our non-drivers get to go and test their skills against some of these, the big dogs.
Yeah, it's going to be a short 50-lap race, but I think, some of these guys who have played this mod before or have done it for a while, they kind of know what they're doing, but at the same time, these wits with these real drivers out here, I see in the lobby Brett Hudson, we've got Heath Helton in the lobby, I think Joey Fulkerson is a crew chief from what I know, but it looks like it's going to be
Tom,
pretty cool.
I'm actually going to switch the broadcast feed over to some practice action. Let these folks check out some of this action on the track.
Let's do it.
Tires remaining in 2 sets of tires left.
As you can see, we're riding along with number 5, Helton here. Actually, that's Jerry Hahn in there. Still with me there, Tom?
Yeah, I think it is actually Heath Helton in that car, the number 5.
Yep, I guess I got a little mixed up. I was gonna have to check my driver list again here. Maybe these boys switched it up on me and I didn't realize it after they had it switched up ahead of time. It's all good. It's the first night out. So Tom, you excited about that Cup Series Texas race coming up here?
Yeah, you know, that thing, Monday Night Mod, is a lot of fun still. Texas is definitely going to be a challenge. Kevin Kelly Jr. really stomping the series right now, but I think there may be a change of that coming up Monday night.
Yeah, I know. I gotta say that Texas track is real fast.
Oh yeah, it is.
Oh, how you doing tonight, Snarehead? Thanks for joining us. We're just discussing the track here and watching these boys take some practice laps before the race starts, and let us know what you think of the track and what do you think of the cars out there. We're really loving these street stocks.
Flip it over to Jerry Hinkle here, number 44. Ride along with Brett Hudson and Ernie Diafonso.
What we do? We got a little action. Got a little action. They got into each other there. Watch these boys take some laps here. So yeah, we do want to let you guys know that we will, if we get a chance, try to get some drivers in here for some possibly pre-game or pre-race, I should say, or post-race interviews.
Woo, pre-game. Let me see if I can grab somebody here.
Gotta say, I gotta love Race Sim Nation. Gotta thank them so much for putting this on and doing the system, the points system, and of course, American Stock Car for inviting us to broadcast their races.
They're actually just about ready to do the drivers meeting, so we might have to wait till after the race to pull some people in, or as incidents occur, as there always will be when you play something like this.
Yeah, definitely before we do get started, want to let the people out there know if you're interested in joining us and racing with us either in this mod or on our Monday Night Cup mod, definitely check out the American Stock Car Facebook page. It is a PC game. It doesn't require an extremely powerful PC to run, although it does require a steering wheel. And many of our veterans will definitely let you know that is a must.
I can attest to that.
But we're always looking for more people to come out and drive with us, and all you got to do is check out the Facebook page.
I think they're going to be starting the drivers meeting here in about 2 to 3 minutes.
Is Dwayne giving them the normal 5-minute happy hour?
Yes, I do believe so.
So alright folks, what we'll have happen here is we'll have our drivers meeting and then we will have our qualifying session. After the qualifying session there will be a 5-minute happy hour for the drivers to turn some laps, get some last minute adjustments. Speaking of adjustments, in this particular mod as opposed to the Cup mod, all of the settings are unlocked for all the adjustments. Tom, if you want to elaborate that a little bit.
Yeah, so with the open setups, you can do pretty much whatever you want. Tire pressure in the cars, and the tires, I should say, downforce, grill tape, brake pressure, brake bias, steering lock, all of that stuff. You can even set to the RPMs in the engine that you want it. So if you want it to top out, later or sooner, however you want to do it, to each their own here at this track. So that's going to separate the men from the boys tonight as well. I think they're all starting to park up here.
I'm getting excited for this.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, man.
Oh man, look at these guys. Look at these wild dogs out here already getting some action.
You got McKinney and Helton. Look at this.
Not even in the race yet, just like fighting for it.
I like to see that though. They're trying, I think, to test to see what they can do with these cars. They look pretty out there though. This mod being an older game, it still looks good and probably the best PC racing there is on the market if you're looking for Overtrack. Not including that other game we won't say you have to buy a subscription for.
Oh, Hudson got a little squirrely on the straight there coming out of the turn. There we go, Paul Hahn. See how he's taking some laps. Tom, I know you wanted to send a shout out to the people who did a lot of the car paints.
Yeah, Bancroft Racing did a lot of these car paints, Steam designs. I know Joey Fulkerson had a hand in the design of some of these tracks. Dwayne will be in here, popping in here later. We'll do a little post-race interview thing. He's going to actually talk to us a little bit of how that came about.
Awesome.
Yeah, Paul Hahn really doing a good job here.
So I want to say, like, going into the cup race in real life, not in our cup races, do you have a personal favorite?
I don't. I really don't. In the cup world, I really don't have a driver anymore. I like to. I like just to watch the race, but at the same time, it just doesn't have that same appeal, I guess, as it used to. Love NASCAR, but actual racing online is way more fun than watching it. And if you notice on top of the car, you see the little name tag of the drivers. You'll be able to see that throughout the race. It may get a little complicated, but you'll be able to see actually who's where if you can't, see the actual driver number.
Any word from our officials out there on if we'll be getting to some racing action?
The drivers' meeting looks like it's going to be taking place in less than 3 minutes. I think they're giving these guys a little extra time to practice. And looks like somebody hit the wall.
Yeah, your gate got a little spinny out there. Boy, these cars sure look nice out there.
Yeah, they're pretty. They're really pretty. Joey Fulkerson is on the track. That number 2 ride, Mayfield Competition Engines.
Let's go for a little ride along. These folks at home get a little taste of what it's like to actually, be in the city.
Sounds good to me.
Well, it looks like they're parking it up for the drivers' meeting, so.
That is what's happening.
Well, they got about a half a lap.
They're going to get 50 here in a little bit.
Again, folks, don't be shy. Send a message to American Stock Car on Facebook. You know, come and join us. Game's free. All you gotta do is have a wheel, a computer.
We try controllers. Some people just don't work. I know I had to get a steering wheel.
So let me ask you this: do you have any favorites tonight, Tom, in the race?
Well, looking at who is here right now, if I had to pick a horse, I probably would pick Brett Hudson. I think he's got a lot of talent, and he actually races this track in real life. So I would put a lot of stock into what he's doing. If I had to pick an ASC driver, I think the person with the best chance, in my opinion, I do believe is D'Alfonso. I think Ernie is a great driver. He proved it in the Cups. He's always out in the lead, whatever track it may be, and I know you can attest to that.
I always see him out in front. I guess I can't really talk too much. I'll be the first to say I am a newbie at this game, and I'm definitely not the greatest driver. I typically am hanging out in the back of the pack, but you know what? It's all about practice and learning how to do it.
Exactly.
And I got to say, everybody's been very welcoming and helping, give wheel setups and setups in the game. The community's really good. So...
If you had a driver you could pick tonight, who would you think would take this one?
Well, I guess I haven't really been looking at the times that would typically be my first key. I gotta agree with you. Ernie is one of our better drivers tonight. The guy that you said was that Hudson. If he drives the track in real life, I mean that's really hard to argue against. I mean, it is a simulation game. What can I say much more than that? It's a simulation game. The dude drives the track in real life. He's going to know the lines, right?
Yeah. Well, as long as it was made to set up that way, I think they would. But Travis McKinney, he's been across a few different mods that we've seen. He definitely could be a factor tonight.
I know that in the Cup Series, I've seen Travis racing, and he's typically running with the boys in the front as well. I know he's always pushing real hard to be up there in the lead, and I know from what I've seen so far, these cars are made for that. So it'll be great to see him, get packed up. And
it's going to be awesome.
I'm sure they're doing the drivers' meeting right now, and I'm sure they will get to qualifying shortly.
All right, looks like we're getting into the qualifying session here.
I want to give a special shout out to all the viewers who came to check out the race tonight. Really happy you could join us and check out this fun game that we've been playing, and hopefully we can share it with some of you guys.
Who are you selecting to drive around for the qualifier?
Who would you like to see?
I think we should go with either Ernie or Joe.
All right, Ernie it is.
All right, he's about ready to take off here. Let's see how he does. Ooh, it's a classy DuPont 24. I like that.
I can't say it puts a good taste in my mouth. I was never a fan of Jeff Gordon.
No, me either. But you know what?
It looks good,
it's a
but
classic,
at the
man.
same time, I mean,
It's a classy one.
oh, he's got a little
Oh.
squirrely there. He pushed it. He held it together, though. Oh, that just getting on that rear end swinging out,
Yeah.
coming into that.
He comes out of 2. Getting the high side. Ooh, very close. Dips the car way inside. Comes off the 4.
Ooh, sliding it up there. Did he get some wall? It looked like he got a little wall there.
Just a piece. Oh, here it comes again. You got it. You didn't hit the wall.
Well, it's going to be real interesting to see how those boys handle that when they're, all packed up and gaining some extra
20
draft speed.
26.891. He is on the pole right now. Oh, 26.875 for Travis McKinney. Reporting it right now, as you can probably see on the board there. Travis McKinney with the 26.875, with Ernie D'Alfonso with the 26.891. And then everybody else is kind of in the 27s. Jerry Hinkle kind of getting up there. Let's see here. Heath Helton with a 26.830.
Give the folks at home a little look at the lap board there. Let's see how these boys did.
Wow.
Looks like Heath Helton took the pole by
I think that's safe to
400ths
say.
of a second.
And looks like Hinkle might have crashed. Or no, is that James Greg 8? Okay, yeah, he's the one that probably might have crashed. As you can see in the top right-hand corner of the screen, you see the qualifying ticker dropping down. They're going to probably let that roll all the way through, and then they're going to do a 5-minute happy hour, as Andy explained earlier. We might take that opportunity as well to prep for the race. Maybe grab a quick something to drink here before we get going on to the race.
So again, folks, if you take a look at that little leaderboard there, we got Heath Helton on the pole. Starting next to him, we got Travis McKinney, Ernie D'Alfonso, Brett Hudson, Dwayne Hall, Joey Fulkerson, Paul Hahn, Brian Niels, Jerry Hinkle, James Griggett, and then don't mind myself and Tom. We're just kind of hanging out in the pits.
tires remaining enabled. 2 sets of tires left.
All right, everyone, welcome back. We have about a minute left here in happy hour before we get going. Everybody's hitting the track. You can tell in the lobby here it's getting a little tense. People are making some fine adjustments here before we go forward. You see Fulkerson racing out, getting out of the pits here. It's getting serious now.
Yep, these boys are definitely ready to get out there and get to driving. I am excited for this. This is going to be some intense action.
Yeah, you know, with only 10 drivers, it's going to seem like a true authentic race feel, you know, like a heat race, a 50-lap, you know, heat race for the whole kit and caboodle. Wish we had more of a turnout here. Oh, looks like Greg 8 left the server. I think he got bounced.
Yeah, I think he was having some issues with some settings. I don't know if he's a new driver. I don't necessarily recognize his name very much.
He's been in and out of here.
So, yeah, I mean, if that's the case, I mean, whatever, like, he's welcome to come back and try again next week. I don't know if that was the issue or not, if he just stepped away or if he was asked to kind of step back.
I think issues. I think it's more of a connection issue than anything else. They'll restart happy hour, I believe, and then they'll go ahead. Looks like they restarted the happy hour now. Thank goodness for that. All right, looks like these boys are ready to go racing.
All right, well, I'm going to count this down because I know these laps don't take very long for this. Starting on the pole, we have Heath Helton, and at number 5, Gilbert and Mitchell. Next to him, in the number 2 spot, we have Travis McKinney in the number 48 McKinney Motorsports Chevrolet. In the 3 spot, we have Ernie D'Alfonso in the number 24 DuPont. Brett Hudson starting behind him in the 00 Warwick Tubing Chevrolet.
Always love some good tubing.
Hall's on Post, Dwayne Hall in the Hall's on Post Racing, number 55. Fulkerson did not make it out on the track yet, not sure what's up with that. Paul Hahn in the number 16, Sign Pros, not sure. Brian Niels in the number 25, J&M Farms. And it looks like we're getting a little restart here. I'm not sure what's going on here.
Technical difficulties on their end.
Well, I noticed Fulkerson didn't make it out onto the track, so
Some of these guys are new to this, so we do apologize. What? Oh my God.
Give us just a few moments here, folks, and we will get this race underway. We're just having a little bit of technical difficulties, as we expected. Everything has been smooth up until now, but we will get this race action underway shortly.
All right, looks like I'm back.
How did we lose more than just you? I saw you got kicked out of the server there.
There we go. Looks like we're all set to go here with the grid counting down here. You ready to go there?
Yeah, I'm ready to go. I think we're still waiting. Thought we were still possibly waiting for one, but we got Helton on the pole, Kenny, D'Alfonso, Hudson, Paul Fulkerson, Han, Niels, Hinkle, and Gate.
I like Greg Gates' car. I hope the waiting was worth it.
ride along with these boys and see how this action unfolds here from the leader. We'll get definitely some great different camera angles along the way. Looks like these boys are about ready to get to some action.
Now, if you're interested in looking at the points after the race and wondering what's breaking down, go to racingnation.net. That's your all things source for this league, for the Cup Series, and for future series ahead.
And once again, check out the American Stock Car Facebook page. Come and get the game and race with us.
That's right.
Get on the broadcast. Why not?
Good time.
Come check out the Cup Series on Monday nights. Also a good time. Hey, and who knows,
Here
you
we
know,
go.
like maybe if we get enough... Oh, here we go. Pace car's stuck on...
All right, as we come down forward, Heath Helton is going to lead them to the green flag here as we start, as they're all bunching up right now. Let's get it going. Here we go.
Looks like everybody's getting into the turn quick here. We got that number 2. Yeah, you took that a little wide. I think it's going to hurt him. Look at Dwayne Hall trying to hook up with them 3 on the outside. Nope, he changed his mind. He's coming back on down low. See if they can get that push with the 3 over there.
Before you see Travis McKay come on the outside, looks like he's going to clear for the
Yeah, he's pushing it.
leader. Helton trying to hold that second spot. But Hudson really giving it to him right now.
Man, McKinney is really just pulling away from him. I think if he's going to drive it too hard, though, it's going to hurt him in the long run. He said he could go like 10 laps.
Oh, Hudson hits the wall and comes forward on the front stretch. The Alfonso taking advantage here, going into 1 and 2. Looks like he's going to clear.
Get to some action camera here for you guys.
He's having a little bit of trouble with his car right now. The outside looks a little bit damaged.
Yeah, definitely any of that body damage will really slow you down. The aerodynamics on this game, even on a smaller track like this, it can really hurt you.
Yeah, it does. McKinney and Helton now putting on healthy distance on the rest of the field. As we see a bunch up for 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Everybody else is kind of separated out.
Looks like McKinney's still holding that lineup.
Doors and the Alfonso and Ben Hudson.
Those guys are really pushing it out there. They're trying to catch up to the leader cars, and I think if they can hold these lines for a while, I think that second pack is going to be able to catch up to the 2 leader cars. They're really pushing it hard on the lead.
I think the action is right here in the 3rd, back on to 6th.
Definitely want to thank all the viewers for coming out and checking out the racing action tonight. Make sure you hit that follow button too on the Twitch feed. Oh, banging the wall.
What was that?
Number 2.
Oh, Fulkerson. We're about 6 laps in here at Lucas Oil Raceway, and Fulkerson just scraped the wall again from what I've seen.
Yeah, I think he's having a hard time holding that car.
If you look at the Alfonso and Hudson, they're starting to close the door here on Helton and McKinney.
Yep, see, like in what'd you say, we're at 6 laps, so now 7?
7.
I I can see that the tires are getting warm. They're slowing down in the turns a little bit more. You gotta really take care to not slide up.
Starting to get slick. Remember, folks, this is a sprint. Even though it's 50 laps, so it's a shorter race. Still, you gotta hold on to those tires as long as you can. Brett Hudson finally figuring it out there in fourth. Starting to close the door on D'Alfonso.
Go a little right along here. D'Alfonso. See how he's handling these turns now that it's the car's warm, the tires are heated up, the brakes are hot.
What I noticed here, he is entering really higher than he normally does. Some of these guys are really digging deep in 1 and 2, but as you can see, it goes just a tad higher than this.
Really, I noticed that when I was taking some laps on this track, that there's really a lot of throttle control to the turn. A lot of on and offs.
You gotta be careful.
And any over throttling, it's just.
Ooh, Hudson's right in the wall. Somebody interrupted there.
That's all right.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Hudson spinning!
Oh, I think we have caution. Yep, caution is out on lap 11. Brett Hudson spinning through 1 and 2. He held it together. He didn't spin out, but they did a little damage. Can you check that out there? Looks like he's got some right front damage. Looks like a little torn up, but I think he's going to go and get that fixed.
Yeah, not too bad. A little bit on the right front there. I think that won't be too significant in the pits for him.
I think we both can come to a consensus here, Andy, that Travis McKinney is fast.
Yes, he's very fast, and as we expected, his aggressive nature is really, really just helping him out.
He's got it down for now, but we'll see. Really hoping Hudson was going to pull that off.
I'm do a little adjustment there for you guys. See if you guys can hear us a little better. As you were saying, the common consensus is Travis McKinney is very fast. Helton's been holding the line with him, though, to be honest, and Ernie, you know, just as usual, like we see him on Mondays on the Cup tracks. He's really holding it.
Yeah, he seems to be consistent in how he races and how he approaches the race. You can turn down the engine volume a little bit more.
Hope that's a little better for you guys. Definitely want you to hear us. Although you came here for racing. Definitely thanks for the help, James. 15 laps in here. You think these boys will have to make a pit stop and change some tires mid-race?
We'll see. I know that you can go a long distance on these, but your guess is as good as mine. And my inexperience with knowing these guys and their series, you never know.
Looks like we're going to get back to some racing action here. Oh, a little bumping and grinding.
All right, as we get
Ernie's
down
getting
here,
up on him.
we go to lap 15 with, looks like we got Heath Helton up there in second.
Travis McKinney's in first.
I should have known.
Helton and
McKinney.
Alfonso.
Keeney will lead them down, and we're off.
See how they take this turn. He pushed it. Helton tried to make a move on the outside, but he couldn't get it. He gave him a little bump, though.
And off goes McKinney.
There he goes. Just look at him break away at 2 car lengths already. But now the pack's a little bit more bunched up. Remember, those are the same tires they started with, so.
Unless they pit.
Look at McKinney. I don't know, did you see anybody pit during the caution? I didn't see anybody go in except for the.
I don't believe so. McKinney probably almost I would imagine about 300th of a second. The 0.3 of a second, excuse me, lead on Helton there. The Alfonso's pushing it here early.
I'd really like to, man, it's crazy to see how hard he's pushing his car. I want to say he's not going to be able to hold it for the whole race, but he's held it so far.
Yeah, he has clearly dominated this race.
Let's go for a little ride along with Travis, see how he's actually doing. Turning these super fast laps.
Tell he's not over throttling it through the turns. He's really just smooth like butter.
He's really trying to keep that nose down on just on the top of the ear.
You don't see the wheel shaking around a bunch, or a lot of inexperienced drivers will be all over the wheel. Very smooth. It's the corners easy. Just really repetitive. Consistent. You can tell as the tires get warmer, the cars slide around a little bit easier. As we're almost halfway through this race, McKinney has led almost every single lap, I do imagine. He has, actually.
Yeah, he is clearly dominated on this track. I don't know if he's put in a lot of extra practice time or not, but he's definitely got the groove down for this one.
Setup must be there.
Yeah, I could see how you might say it looks like they're dirt racing. Definitely by now their tires are nice and hot, so their cars are definitely sliding through these turns.
And if you notice, Heath Helton creeping up there.
Yep, so he's definitely closed the gap a little bit.
Now this is a battle that we're looking for here, Andy. You have an ASC driver, a guy who's been on this mound for a couple of years now, versus Heath Helton, CRA Street Stock driver. This is a great comparison to see how these guys run, virtual racing versus real racing.
Ooh, Helton's getting a little close to the wall there, though, yeah.
This is what you want to see, though. Helton really pushing it. He is.
Yeah, you can tell he's really trying to get up there.
Gotta be smooth. In this mod, smooth is skill.
Yeah, he's having a hard time holding that car steady out of the turns there.
Yeah, Ernie is catching him now. And if you look back a little bit further and forth, guess who's creeping up? The man who spun out earlier, Brett Hudson.
Yeah, I wonder if Dwayne can give him a little helper back here to catch those boys up front. You know, it's really just proves that sometimes conserving your tires early can really work out for you. I know he spun out. He even was able to go into the pits and get some fresh tires, so he may end up being a little faster here towards the end of the race. Although he's getting a little squirrely, and Dwayne just passed him. I think he's going to be able to make a move on the inside here.
And we have a caution. Looks like, I think that's Fulkerson back there. Yeah, Fulkerson spinning.
Well, just must have been a quick one because I totally didn't even get anything of it.
He got sideways a little bit from what I can see coming out of 4. Well, we're gonna bunch it back up. We're 28 laps in. We're over halfway. Your leader for this whole race has been Travis McKinney.
Travis McKinney is clearly dominated, as I've said already a couple times. Not to sound too repetitive here, but it's just apparent that he's definitely got the line down.
But with these cautions, you can't slam it home yet. It's not a shack attack dunk. You know, he's got to still drive the rest of the race here. When they go green, there's probably going to be 18 laps to go. So it's really going to be a dash here as we go forward. You're going to see probably guys like Hall, maybe even Hudson
really
trying to make a big push.
There's going to be some real big pushing coming on.
And don't sleep on Paul Hahn. Again, if you're interested in racing on this mod, go to Facebook, look for American Stock Car, and give them a message. Say that you're interested. You were watching the stream, and you want to participate. We do the Cup Series on Monday nights, as we're doing Texas this week, and we do follow along with the schedule that they officially run.
You know, actually, right as we were getting racing, I missed it earlier, but I did want to mention real quickly that in the winter we do actually have truck series that we run as well. So
that does change, varies on participation in the community.
Right. If we have people doing something, we have had truck series in the past. Well, it looks like we've got some people going in the pits here. Definitely could change some things.
Let's see if we can get Dwayne Hall here under caution.
Dwayne, are you with us?
Well, I was going to bring in Dwayne Hall, but I have to work on that for my permissions, so I can actually pull him.
Yeah, that's all right. We won't be able to pull him in with us tonight, but that's okay. We will, in the future, we will be having some mid-race interviews with some of these guys if we can.
That'll definitely be happening.
Right, definitely stick around after the race. We're going to talk to the winner and hopefully talk to one or two of the drivers and see what they thought about the mod, how they thought the cars felt, and how the track ran. I really want to see how Helton is able to overcome some of that damage on the right side of his car.
he's been sitting in second place right now. I really think this is a good opportunity for him, from that caution to really kind of reset, get the old tools back in the bag and bring it home.
It's only light damage, really. That front top there, that's pretty dented in.
All right, well, the pace car's in,
Here we
Andy. Here we go. Lining up first, we got Travis McKinney. Outside of him is going to be Heath Helton. On the inside, the 24 of Ernie D. Alfonso. And on the outside of him, it's going to be Dwayne Hall. On the inside, from what I can see, it looks like. And then the outside of him is going to be Brian Nielsen with the green. McKinney leads him down. Oh, it gets 3 wide back in 1 and 2.
Ooh. And look at McKinney just taking off right away again.
Yep.
And here comes Hall pushing the line, trying to stay up there without. Oh, and Dwayne got it in the wall.
Joey Fulkerson in the back there, infield straight away in the back. Joey not having a good run tonight. Uh-oh, and somebody else in the inside turn coming out of 4. I think that was Niels.
And here comes everybody just spinning down the backstretch.
Yeah, we got Greg 8 spinning out there, the number 6. Niels spin. No caution.
McKinney hasn't really pulled away too much. I wonder if Helton and Ernie will be able to push up and make a move. Looks like Ernie's having a little hard time holding his car together too there.
Yeah, I think we might have a dash here with 10 to go. We got 15 to go right now, but don't sleep on those guys back there. Everybody's pushing their toe, you can tell.
Man, they are really sliding coming out of 4. Oh man, look at that. They are just, I can see where James Scott is really saying it looks like they're dirt racing because they are sliding quite a bit.
Those back ends are flying out. Well, if you notice, there's no spoiler. There's street stocks. There's no spoilers on these puppies. Nothing to save you. Very unforgiving. The Alfonso trying to make a move for that second place, slowly but surely gaining on Heath Helton.
These last few laps here will tell the tale of whether they can hold the line with those hot tires.
You can tell McKinney slides into 1 real hard and then straightens her out. Everybody doesn't really do that.
I keep seeing him come out of 4 and I just feel like he's not going to be able to hold it one of these times and he's going to crack the wall, but he hasn't yet.
Helton was holding there, holding steady with 12 to go.
The last 10 laps.
They are hitting off the front stretch wall.
Trading paint on the front stretch.
They're not even banging doors. They're banging with the wall here. Uh-oh. Now in this mod, I should mention, you are forced in the cockpit. There's no third-person mode. There is no hood mode. It is all cockpit.
This is how you must drive in the mod. As we ride along with Travis McKinney, let's watch some open road.
10 to go. We can check the stat card after the race, but he has led every lap so far.
And somehow, magically, he is still holding that car on the line that he's been driving always. So we drop back to Helton here. Kind of get the view he's been having the entire race because he's been in second recently. Maybe Ernie had a couple
Pay attention to Hudson back there. He's getting really loose coming out of 4. Or out of 2, I should say. As now we know. That 4080 is beautiful and it is dominant. now at the line. Every lap getting a little bit more sideways going into one.
Yeah, but somehow McKinney looks like he's just pulling away again, and it looks like Ernie might be a little faster than Helton at this point, but I don't think he has enough to pass, so he's kind of stuck back there.
Yeah, but they're coming up to some lap traffic. Could it be a factor in closing laps here?
See, Ernie is getting pretty squirrely in the turns there, too.
He's trying. He knows he's got to go.
James Scott says McKinney's going to lose it. I don't know. He's been pretty dominant all night.
Niels is right up in front of him. Anything's possible.
The lap traffic definitely could play a huge factor. Let me switch this camera
5 to
around.
go. Jesus, take the wheel.
Let's see if it looks like Niels is going to give him plenty of space to get by.
We'll see. Things happen.
Things do happen.
Like McKinney is really putting it home right now. He is putting the hurt on.
Well, I mean, he's got him. He's just been holding it.
Hurting for a squirting. Travis McKinney.
Did you just say that?
Totally did.
He says he's going to get loose and catch and bam into the wall. And I've been saying it the whole... Well, I said it once, but, I mean, he's been riding it right on the edge. I guess that's part of the way things are... I mean, look at that. He's darn near drifting.
Yeah. Travis McKinney coming out of 4. When he crosses the line, it'll be 3 to go.
How is he still holding that line 50 laps in, 47 laps in? No damage on the car. That's how you win. It really is. It's how you win in Cup, too.
It really is. I mean, you know, Heath Helton and Ernie have strong run, but the harder that they tried to push it, the more time they lost.
Hey, thanks everybody for coming out and for all the great comments. Definitely glad you could come and watch tonight. Wow, Ben Izinga, I really appreciate that, and I'm sure Tom does as well, but... But anyways, everybody, thank you for coming on over and watching the race with us tonight as we watch Travis McKinney take it home here pretty quick.
And your winner tonight, it is Travis McKinney. He has dominated all race. Second going to Heath Helton, and third, Ernie D'Alfonso.
I saw that 7-Eleven Bancroft Racing. I saw that car in the menus, and I gotta say that is a sharp looking ride, and we can't wait to see you on the track with us. Oh, as we see McKinney do a couple burnouts on the
Good
checkered
win.
flag here.
Really solid win. We're going to hear from our
Finish line.
winner here in just a moment. Let him do a little bit of celebrating. I'm going to go up and try to get a couple drivers who come down.
John Gambit 20, we really appreciate you joining us for the broadcast and for the kind words. We hope you can join us. This is going to be a weekly broadcast for us every Thursday, so definitely come and join us.
Buddy left your channel.
Try to stick around for a little bit if you guys can. We're going to try to get a couple of the drivers in here and see what their opinions are of how the track ran, and we're going to try to get the winner in here to chat with us as well.
Buddy joined your channel. User was moved to your channel. User was moved to your channel.
James Scott, I will pass that message on to him, as I do believe. Did you move them into the channel here, Tom?
I'm trying to get Dwayne in here.
Do we have Travis McKinney with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Travis, one of our chatters just wanted to,
User joined your channel.
like, he's just commenting on the race tonight. He watched with us, and he can't believe you were able to hold on to your line that long. And I gotta say, I totally agree with him.
Hundreds and hundreds of laps of practice this week.
Well, folks, I hope you could hear that. If you didn't, he said hundreds and hundreds of laps of practice this week, and I suspected that might have been the case, because that was just an impressive performance, sir.
Yeah, well, welcome everybody to the booth here. Travis, how was it? Was it the setup? Was it just the skill? What was going on here tonight?
I made quite a few changes. Initially, when we got here, it was pretty loose. I was struggling mainly with getting loose into the corner. Off the corner, I mean, the horsepower on the 8-inch tires, I mean, it's a struggle getting off the corner regardless, but my main struggle was tightening it up, getting into the corner. And once I got that figured out, I was able to roll the center good, and then it's just finesse getting off the corner. And then as this race wore on, my setup stayed pretty stable throughout the whole race. A little on the tight side, but pretty good.
That's awesome. You know, we do appreciate the comments and things that are coming in. Travis, congrats on your first win here in the Street Stock Series, and hope for many more.
Thank you.
And let's talk to the guy who's been chasing the guy all night, Ernie D'Alfonso. Man, was there anything that you could have done differently here tonight, or what happened out there?
No, I don't think I could have done much to pass Travis, no matter how long it was. He's got really good setup knowledge, and I don't. He actually helped me out. I got to thank him. I probably wouldn't have even been able to, keep up with Heath and him without his help. But I made a couple of changes, able to just make it a little bit more to my driving style. But I don't have the knowledge that they have. But he's a better driver than me anyway. So I'm just happy with being able to stay up there with those guys.
It just looked like you were making a run there, and then you and Heath kind of fell off a little bit. We were pulling for you guys up there. Travis, just I checked my stats here later, but Travis, I do believe you led every lap tonight.
I think so, yeah.
Must have been fun just having an open road to look at the entire race.
I was actually really worried when he snuck in that qualifying lap on me. I'm like, oh man, there goes my race. I'm starting on the outside. So all through happy hour, I ran 10, 11 laps on the outside just to see how my car handled. And I knew if I didn't get out in front of Heath on the initial start, I was going to be struggling to get around him the entire race. And so my focus that first lap was drive it in deep, hope it sticks, and pray for the best.
Yeah, you were getting pretty sideways there on the long run, but it was cool to watch. Congratulations.
So I'm really interested to know, how are you guys able to hold it so well when the car's getting so loose towards the end of the race there? I noticed in the last 10 to 15, maybe even 20 laps, you guys are coming off 4. It looked really loose.
It's all on the throttle control. I mean, about the apex of the corner, I'm about half throttle, and I just play between half and 3/4 throttle until you get all the way out and onto the straight before you can open it all the way up. Every time you give it a little bit of gas, that tire starts spinning, you got to back off a little bit and then go back to the throttle again.
Well, I guess, Travis, is there anybody that you'd like to thank after your win tonight? Other than that, since you're on our live broadcast tonight, give you a chance to shout out to someone if you'd like.
I'd like to thank everybody at RSN. I know Heath Helton had a big part in putting these street stocks together, so shout out to him. All the guys for coming out and making the race, you guys for putting it on, and these cars, if you guys haven't tried it yet, get it downloaded. They are a blast to drive.
One real quick question from one of our viewers, real quick. He's interested in what wheel you have, because he's looking to get into sim racing.
I started off with the Driving Force Pro. I'm currently running a G27. G27 for the money is the cheapest way for the quality of the components. I've had mine for 3.5, 4 years and still have no issues.
That's awesome. James Scott 5568 says awesome win.
Thank you.
All right. Well, Dwayne, we'll kick it to you. Is there anybody in particular you'd like to thank as far as for making this possible?
Yeah, there's a few guys. Heath for talking me into this, which could be a good or a bad thing. And then Heath helped me out with a lot of details on this particular series. And he hooked us up with Bancroft Racing, who had a bunch of these real drivers' cars already painted up and another mod. And he transferred those paint schemes to our templates for us to run inside our mod. So we thank Bancroft Racing for the paint jobs, Heath for talking me into this apparently. Jared, who wasn't here tonight, he drives a 20 car. He helps with Joey. They both work on the 00 Brett Hudson's car in this real series. And Jared gave me a lot of information for this series. So Jared and Joey for give me numbers, help me figure it all out, and Brett Hudson for Real Driver Impact. You know, I appreciate those guys. I'm sure. I know Brett's car was very loose tonight. He was chasing it like crazy. But those guys helped me get it all together, got me the rules, gave me the information. They knew how the cars felt in the real world, so they were my feedback. And, you know, thank these guys for all showing up to race tonight, and guys that are still coming to race, and you guys for putting on this broadcast.
Well, hey, we want to thank you for letting us broadcast the race. I mean, really, that's the factor here.
It's cool to get them out there. If guys want to watch them, they can see basically what's it about, you know. And you know, it's these things are a little tough to drive. They are, but that's the idea. The idea was to make them as close as we could to the real thing, which is tough to drive.
Well, thanks, Dwayne. We do appreciate that. We'll go ahead and close it out here. Andy and I want to thank you and the viewers for dropping by and spending some time with us this evening. On behalf of Race Sim Nation, American Stock Car, and the Eskimo Brothers, again, thank you, and we hope you enjoyed this broadcast. We will see you again soon, and good night.